Hello. I can't make an intro for this video. I'm so out of it and yeah, it's massive spoilers. Click click to the end if you want to avoid them. I mean, his arm is gone and he gets a prosthetic for it, so that's kind of interesting. And him going after the blonde guy to see his technique was, I guess, funny. Just since he was bothering the woman who sits on him. But yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter sometimes, like, if the episode is good or not. If there's, like, a few scenes that are just questionable, and these ones are pretty questionable. In terms of, like, not only, like, yeah, just, like, I mean, luckily he doesn't really, but he's also weird with the other girl with white hair in the beginning. I mean, it's just, like, this just makes me, like, question the person creating this story. Man, just to add another show that has adults randomly turned into kids. This one actually was probably the most just whatever about it. It was just like a mishap event, and then they all turned back. Yeah, I just do not enjoy this show. It's so. There's so many little, like, kind of short stories, like, that it does. They're just little snippets. Nothing's real. I mean, it's connected, but it's just, it all feels very disjointed. I don't really care about any of the characters. They're either, like, boring or annoying, and I just, yeah. I'm sorry if this is the only show with any bi representation, and I'm ranking it super low, but it sucks. I'm sorry. I guess we get we give out some letters, we make some art. Everybody's doing final projects, I think. And then Wolf Girl graduates. I thought there was going to be a whole thing where she split into two different people. Did I misunderstand that? Yeah. I don't know. This show is like, I'll be interesting for 2 episodes, and then that's it. Well, the thief was just a fool, in my opinion. If you're gonna really try to beat him before you return the jewels, like, why'd you wait till Pochi was fine? Took off right as he's going down. Unless he healed, I guess. They had time to heal him with milk, I guess. Yeah, though, they team up, power, friendship, la-di-da, save the day. I mean, the episode was fine and chill. I wanted some more information about what was going on with her. And, yeah, we're back to, like, hanging out with dogs and doing laundry. And it's fine. It's fine. It's better than on a lot of episodes of this show. But, yeah. I don't know if it was just me, but this episode was a snooze fest. I was, like, paying attention because, like, there was some stuff here and there that was, like, I guess worth knowing, but it was just a lot of, like, I'm not enjoying this. Like, it's not terrible, but it's just boring. like they get moments where, like, I'm like, oh, they're hype about what's in this box. Oh, it's a card game. No, they're playing cards. Cool. Cool. I don't know if this is the first, but it feels like it, that I found interesting, and, like, I was engaged, and then it just ended with, oh, melon. and I was like, oh, right. It's short. Just because I guess, like, it was interesting them, like, kind of being like, he's weird, right? Like, he knows things that he shouldn't know. And they're like, yeah, he's probably got some attribute, which might mean that the royal family will take him, so we're gonna protect him from being taken. And then he gets the melon. But, yeah, it was something. It was a fine episode. It was just kind of felt boring. I did have a hard time paying attention to it. It might just be me. But I guess we're preparing for battle. Kind of saying our goodbyes to people, saying hellos to some other people, and the Trigun guy from last week who turned. I don't know if I mentioned, but he turned, and so he's on their team now. Seems pretty unbreakable. So that he had the healing factor. I forgot. I forgot. The first episode, or the first half of the episode, I thought was kind of just the annoying, overwhelming comedy that it does. I guess the guys just put every single point that could be at anything into his luck ability. And then the second thing was kind of interesting. I don't know. They literally just repeat a lot of it, but I guess that's the point. I don't know. It was strange. And then it was all for cooking because they don't know how to cook. It still seems so brutal that they just have their whole personalities wiped if they lose. And I mean, it's only the original people too. It seems like some of the duplicates have been fine when they lose. But yeah, so pink hair girl, kaput. And I just realized there were so many Cardfight Vanguard shows, and I wonder if that explains why I'm so confused, if there's other shows that you would watch before this, because there's a lot, and there's definitely, I recognize the main character. So yeah, is the game it seems like it'd be fun, but it also kind of seems like it expensive. Do you have to buy whole individual decks for this? I shouldn't be doing this. This whole TV show is just a big advertisement. Okay, all right. The story was more interesting. I felt like the fire tactics were a little more. I mean, we were getting toothpaste sand. I mean, they definitely had a lot of toothpaste sand, so maybe that was. But they stopped some fireworks, stopped some fire. But then the old man blown up by a dummy bomb, and that's too bad. I'm a little confused who he because just in terms of, I was right about that one shady guy being behind it, and he's doing it to avenge his, I guess, lost daughter and wife, potentially, too, who died in a firework accident. Maybe the daughter died and then the wife died soon after, just from, grief or something. Yeah, but so, they were saying the firework maker was kind of involved, but I don't know exactly. I don't think the old man is the firework maker. I think he was just casualty of chaos. Okay, this episode made me feel like Shio will probably be the one in the end that he ends up with. I still think he's had cuter moments with red-haired girl. The new girl, she doesn't really seem like she's trying to get involved, even though she ends up kissing him. Although, that definitely, that seems like that would have hurt. But yeah, she's alright. I still kind of think pink-haired girl is my favorite character in the show. I don't necessarily hope she ends up with this guy, but she's kind of been more background the past few episodes, but I feel like her moments are always pretty funny. I feel like at times I forget that she's pretending to be a guy. And then I remember, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's kind of an odd setup. Yeah, it's been interesting. I guess this guy, and he's different from the other silver-haired guy, right? Because he's trying to harm her, potentially. Maybe pushing flower pots and getting her to get shoved in the chicken fight. Yeah, Sano's in his feelings. I don't think they've had the beauty pageant yet, have they? Oh, nah, she was... yeah, he had a girlfriend. She left him without saying anything, and then 3 years later comes back and is like, I'm getting married. And he's like, the fuck? Alright. That's everything. I don't know what I think of the new villain. She's out here just stealing cookies. I don't know. And are they not wet now that they've been in the ocean? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, this whole episode was about cookies. And I don't know if it was better or worse. I I think it was worse. I was like, what is going on? Why do they care about these cookies so badly? Fairy King was showing up. A different Fairy King, Sky Fairy King, which I guess is a woman. And then Isilia's trying to make peace with the Sea Majesty about the cookies. So, sounds like all the kids have sad backstories. Or at least the red-haired girl and pink-haired girl. Pink-haired girl's got an invulnerability kind of thing, or healing thing going on. Can still feel pain, but she says she's used to it. Teammates aren't cool with that, so I think that's cool. I mean, she does seem to probably need to be safer with it, but it seems like she was abused. But yeah, and then, yeah, it's tonally, like, we can get into that, I guess. It's been very lighthearted, but it was fine. Don't know if we need these bathhouse scenes in, like, clearly. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. It's cute. I'm watching this after Polar Opposites, and it's just, they're cute, but, like, it feels pretty cookie cutter. I mean, I think it's I haven't seen a lot, but I don't know. It's better than some of it. Yeah. They have a sleepover, friend sleepover. That seems new. They're getting a little more comfortable with each other. She's starting to feel like she wants to be a little more intimate. And he's doing well to hold on to boundaries. A little maybe too well at this point, I guess, in her mind. But I don't think she's made it clear to him necessarily. So we're getting there. Okay. The marionette performance was kind of boring. I mean, it was fine. I don't know. But then the king comes. Is that Eraserhead's voice? I feel like I recognize it from somewhere, but I'm not. That was the only character that came to mind. Showing off the kingdom to the king, or the town, whatever it is, fort. To the king and his person. They're shocked, which is, I feel like, always like a fun moment in these kind of shows. They get a promise that he won't have to leave, and that's nice. And the dragon shows up. Yeah, I should be. They were just talking about they don't have aerial defenses, so guess they'll figure it out. So Gilbert gets executed. He doesn't get rewarded this time because that would cause strife among the princes for just the way everything went. And I guess that he went to town and then saw the girl bartering herself. Not bartering, but offering herself as a wife. If somebody can defeat her, stop that guy from cheating the system using two people. But the prince saves the day and then gets the approval of a grandpa and the approval of Oxring Behemoth. So, normal day for the prince. I was gonna say that I thought it was way too upbeat, like, after her struggling, like, while turning into this monster and, like, not wanting to hurt her friends, but losing her consciousness. I was like, oh, that's really, like, I don't know, it was a poignant moment. I don't know if I'm using that word right. Yeah, it was touching. I was like, oh, I feel sad for this character, and she's mostly just annoyed me. Then gets a nice flashback, and but then it gets like there's a weird upbeat song, and they're all like, okay, we're transforming now, woo, we're gonna take her down. But since it ends before they take her down, maybe there's still like, because I thought they were probably gonna end up figuring out something to end up saving her as opposed to the other guy, but maybe she is just gone for good. In which case, I guess they gotta do their best to take her down and then go fight the Demon King. I guess, Legoshi goes and tries to talk to some lions. Oh, I forgot that, he thought he had eaten Haru, but it was tomato juice. It briefly showed that in the last episode, and I just didn't think it was going to be. They spent more time on it than I thought they would. Also forgot to mention in the last episode, the dog thing was pretty cool, but, or interesting. Because this episode was fine, but less interesting. Well, Red Guy, finally manages to join the team, gives the white-haired guy some of his venom. He tastes it. They go out and hunt some golems, feed each other chocolates, and get mad when he's gonna share those chocolates with other people. Yeah, they're cute. It's still, I don't know if I'm just like, if these are just homies, but I'm pretty sure it's very tame. If it's, yeah, I don't know. What episode is this? This is like, yeah, we're getting, I don't know where this is headed. Well, we get the fight between the girl and the other girl. I think I realized that out of all of these characters, I probably relate to their flaws the most, and I wasn't quite sure what I thought about that. They they fight until they end up in a bathhouse, and then they're chill with each other, but they're tired. And then the other guy, blue-haired guy, has a bit of a scuffle with the red-haired guy. I think he kind of wins, or is at least about to. There's a dude who's got a hypnosis ability and gets the one guy to stab that guy, but then he's still going, and then he's going to use the hypnosis ability again, but he yells, and that counteracts it. So now the guy has to do the dance till he dies, is what the command was. And then, yeah, he pulls out something, and they're like, what? Well, Oresh had to extend their journey for a few more days, and homeboy is surviving, but he is struggling. And he's still doing all the accounting, and yeah, he's trying to figure out, I guess, where some of the money's going for this energy source, and to protect the barriers and all that. But he's like getting into the depths of like all these magicules and stuff. And it looks like he just got hit by a blast of energy from a kid who was freaking out. I guess it's miasma or something like that. But luckily Oresh just got back, so gonna be some healing for our boy. Gonna be some overdue heal factor being all up in him. I think. I still don't know exactly how. It made it sound like it's all the way. Alright. Okay, first off, I didn't realize last episode was the end of the season, and then I was looking for the new episode today because I saw that there was a Reddit discussion, but it's a special, and I'm just gonna include this as if it was just part of the season. It was like a minute longer. So yeah, it was a fairly cute escapade. 5-day long event, 4 days of foreplay. It's gotta be a holy number. Different kind of foreplay each day. And all accumulating in a final climax. So, solid. Like, you know, they for a robot and a woman, they're pretty cute together. Okay. Things are popping off, kind of. Werewolves getting kidnapped. I guess, yeah, not popping off. They're searching. They're searching for her. Oh, excuse me. They're dealing with vampires. Says they're going around trying to find her. They're getting some clues. And the blonde vampire is just really showing how evil he is. There's like one moment where he's like, the royals are just keeping this information hidden to, like, you know, from the masses. And I was like, seems like an odd line for him to have. Whatever. I'm enjoying it. And like the werewolf is apparently a special werewolf, a lycanthrope. I don't know, what is that, like more gangly and less hairy? I'm just thinking of Harry Potter. But like they have like moments that just like take me out. This is my best example. 2 back-to-back reaction shots where it's all of their individual reactions one after another, and it's just like, oh, ah, ew. Yeah, just some of the pacing, and that's my rant. All right, we get to the village. We meet Gregory, who I guess stabbed our dragon's leg earlier on, but he's cool now. And then, they have to evacuate the village. Everybody does, except for one stupid kid. Makes the situation harder, but they save him. Dragon is doing its best to fight the rock dragon, but is very strong. So our boy needs to upgrade, but even if he upgrades, chances aren't looking very good. Of course, we didn't get the percentages for the demi-human dragon, whatever that is. So, yeah, I have a feeling that will be the one. Yeah, exciting. Alright, we finished the first race for starting position, and we get just, like, right at the very end, starting off in this next race. Trying to predict who will win. Not that I think that we'll see that this season. We've only got 2 more episodes. But let's go. Shoot. Let's say our boy gets his first win. Bauer gets second. I'm third. And the new rookie in the yellow, woman in green, and blue guy place out of the top 3. Maybe Beckenbauer still wins it, because I feel like that's like the big name to take down. Maybe he takes him down, but then blue guy ends up being the new person to take down. But he seems like he's doing like tricky stuff in order to win. I don't get what the inclusion of the woman, the MFG Angel who's gaining weight. Like, is she just there for comedic purposes or something? I don't know. Maybe she'll get with Beckenbauer. Okay. Yeah, I do still feel like the main character is just kind of being more annoying in some of these later episodes. The Black Lightning Knight, or whatever persona that he has, it's getting a little old to the other characters too, it seems. Although Cecilia ends up, I guess, being okay with it, starting to get feelings for the stork. I think she seems a little sad this episode, but a little wanting to spend time with him, I guess, because she got a marriage proposal that it seems like it's going to be hard to deny. We also help the guardian deity become an adventurer this episode, so there's that. But yeah, still relatively cute. Well, alright. Legoshi confronts Melon, and that was almost successful. They both jump off the roof, and then he grabs him, and then he starts walking away with him in hand, but convinces him to loosen his grip for a second, take us off, gone in the wind. Haru is with Lewis at his house, so she's safe at least for now. But yeah, it seems like Legoshi messed up by going to this crime scene by accident from his fur divination. But yeah, he was they got his DNA, I think. Okay, so Kunan did actually end up helping out the guys. Should have kind of realized it last week when he suggested he wants that one guy to fly and the other guy to make bacon, since he's got wind abilities and the other guy's got fire abilities. So yeah, he's cooking, learning to control his flame, and the other guy's learning to fly. Cool. Kunan makes a naked mole rat. I don't know if it's a plushie or if it's like supposed to act like it's alive, but people love it. They'll sleep with it and pay good money for that sweet naked mole rat. And then yeah, the 3 different groups are fighting over him. 2 people join 2 different groups, and then there's 1 group left for the girl that they've asked her to join. Kunan hasn't decided. I mean, they're still fighting over him, so they're about to plead their cases, and then I'm just guessing he'll go into that him and the girl will go into the ability one, but I could also potentially see him just going with Harmony since the leader was a girl, but I don't think so. And just 1 more episode, I guess. I mean, maybe there's 13. Maybe it continues. I have no idea. I can see it ending next week and being like, what hijinks will continue? Yeah, it's continued to be a solid show. I thought Lynn was being kind of annoying this episode, but the episode itself was interesting, I thought. Solving a murder case. Turns out it was the cat, because the dude was trying to kill all the cats, because he was an overworked musician and struggling to pay rent. The noises of the cats were bothering him. So, yeah, it was fine. Okay, quickly, I did remember that I think Legoshi's, like, grandfather is a lizard or something. So maybe that cancels out my concern that I mentioned in the first episode. But we'll see. I do think it's an interesting story with, like, concepts that make me think morally. But it is also just, like, a goofy show every now and then. Like, I forget that. You get them playing ball or fetch. And, yeah. Sweet. But seems like maybe one of them has something going on because they have an onion and dogs don't eat onions. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the monsters continue to kind of look a bit rough, but the show is still entertaining. And, their ability is interesting. Getting to share vision with not all of them, but a certain amount of their summons. Yeah, then being able to, I guess, just have them level up for him off on their own and go and, like, check on his family. That all seems interesting. And while the creatures are whatever, like, I get the use of CGI because it makes it super easy for his summons and repeating. And there's enough variation that, like, it is interesting. But yeah, didn't have a chance apparently against the murder Galsh. And now it seems like the white dragon potentially may... I mean, they say it's gone, but I feel like it's hard for them to keep mentioning things that wouldn't show up. Or that it seems like things are going too well. I feel like something bad's gotta happen. I liked the first broadcasting half, them just getting into it over. Yeah, the broadcasting bits seems like they bring up interesting dialogue, funny moments. The coach, it turning out to be the coach who was messaging, trying to figure out what to do with the teacher. Yeah, that was. And then the second half, it was good. It just it just kind of feels like confirmation that it's black-haired girl, Shinobu. She was the only one holding out, to call him by his first name or by her first name, but at the end she asks him to call her by that. We're going through, like, memory lane as they walk, like, in the rain. A bunch of flashbacks to all the other girls, and, like, I was kind of realizing, like, yeah, what is he, like, I guess he's been helping her with studying. She wants to get smart because she wanted to do something. Yeah, there was something she wanted to do. But I realized, like, I just feel like her goal, or her personality is the most kind of up in the air in general. The shots of this episode definitely just make it, in my opinion, feel. So, but there's no confirmation yet, but it all just feels... I mean, it could just be my bias of thinking this the whole season. Basically the whole season. But yeah. Only 2 more episodes, I think, though. So, I imagine it will be revealed next episode. Maybe it will be in the last. Maybe it'll be like cliffhanger reveal. And then we'll get the reveal. And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't really get how Melon planned for Legoshi to find this crime scene minutes, maybe seconds before the police show up. And I mean, he's been caught for it, but, like, I feel like this better be revealed. Like, he's like, I did not mean for that to happen, but it was perfect. Or something, I don't know. Because he's on the run and talking to some mice. And then Haru was getting followed, I think, by Legoshi's grandfather. And she zaps him. So we'll see what that's about. We start off with a bit of a meetup again. Make sure everybody's okay. Tackle's back, baby. And, yeah, Bat Dude's about to do a show at the Superdome. It'll turn a lot of people, but our team, of commons and tackle will attempt to stop it. And there's a brief reminder of the whole ramen side story going on. So I'm curious how they'll get involved, because I just imagine they will. Or maybe maybe they're just chilling. But yeah, breaking in, getting past some of the guards, but then our homeboy sees his homeboys who have been turned. Gonna have to throw some punches or take some. I figured it would eventually get to the mom character, because it looked like there was a mom character in the OP. Took a while, but yeah, she comes back. She was off trying to dominate the world, but her love for Dew was making her care for humans, so she returned. Yeah, Dew's being a little kind of like, oh, like, I don't remember you. Yeah, it's a little awkward. And so, like, I knew the ending was gonna happen where they read the book. Like, I felt like that was gonna be the conclusion to get, them to bond again. But in the middle of that was something unexpected, where turns out the mom and Dew are not really mother and daughter. They're two parts of a dragon. And the mother's supposed to be the evil half, and Dew's supposed to be the good half. That's the second time this week that an entity was split into two halves of good and evil, and the evil half is not really that evil. Yeah, she immediately Dew calls her and the Demon King Mama and Papa. That made them a family, and she went off to be on her own because she was afraid that her love for Dew would make her not want to dominate the world. But yeah, it was solid. And then the next episode, she's already got a way better understanding of Dew than either Jahi or the Demon King. And yeah, it was sweet to just see that she's uniting people with kindness. Okay, I wasn't expecting Trivia Showdown, but it was kind of entertaining. And then, Melon saves Legoshi. They both kind of want to have an honorable fight, but yeah, he got roped into the territory war between the different gangs. But then we kind of just jumped, so I guess that will be a later day, because then we're just hanging out with Lewis with his dad, him trying to figure out something with the guy, the small Kupi Lowak, I think is what it's called, maybe, who almost died from Melon mere moments before that. But then they figure out, I guess, the mixed breed's weakness, and Lewis is gonna, I guess, help Legoshi take out Melon. Yeah, I guess, so with these stories, they kind of feel like they would relate to, real life race issues, and it does at times, but it's really more just imagine if all the animals in the world instead were people, but they still had kind of most of their animal traits, and then they were trying to live together. And I guess this is all somewhat relatively new, and interspecies stuff is frowned upon and does have its own issues, but yeah, blah blah blah. All right, we got the Dome event going on. Captain Celebrity calls his wife and shows a picture she doesn't want him showing. Eraser's working with Crab Girl, and they bust up the illegal laboratory, but they let some of the experiments get away, and now they're going and bombing the Dome. Captain Celebrity is doing his best, but he's not looking good right now. The dome's about to fall. He's holding it up and just getting clobbered. I don't know. There are 20 other heroes here, though, so maybe one of them can help. Okay, I guess that was a pretty good wrap-up. Sweet little final moment with them being a couple. And, all the other stuff happened at the beginning of the episode. We get the fight between Melon. They use the blood fumes to get him. I guess that doesn't really affect Legoshi. Oh, because he's got two carnivore bloods, right? Is that right? Is it? Yeah, I think. But yeah, so they get him. He threatened to, create a really sad ending by, releasing the drug at the place at the festival where Haru was at, and he got the mayor. But like I thought he spiked just like all the drinks there. I thought it was gonna be a bloodbath. But yeah, no, lot nicer ending. I appreciate it. I needed a nice ending. Maybe a little anticlimactic, just in terms of everybody's like, kill him, get him, and then the horse is like, nope, everything's fine, and then they're all clapping, and then that's it. I mean, we get the little blurbs of what they were doing, and then the ending with them together. So it feels sweet and wrapped up, but yeah, I'll just say that. It feels sweet and wrapped up. I feel like the kid's character is starting to annoy me. More so just that I would use their screen time for other things. Same with the cow. But this was I thought this was a good episode. We've got the end of all things approaching at the border, and Wind Magician's coming in town. The most interesting part was when, the Champignon Witch, she gets caught by one of the White Witches and hands her off to be brought to a cell. But the person he hands her off to is freaking Henry. And he's goated. He's like, all right, I'll let you go. Like, I can't, I don't have any magic, so I can't do anything about those vines, but I bet you can. And then her tears burn him away. But I forgot, she had taken his memories of the incident, and so he doesn't remember her. He says he's got the feeling to protect her when he sees her, but he's got a wife and kids. It's like, ugh. I totally would have rooted for them. I still might. That's awful to say, but just over the other options. There are people that can't deal with loneliness, and there are people that can. And luckily she's the person that can, because she's been lonely and probably gonna be still. I don't necessarily feel like this will be romance, and if it did, I feel like it would be way down the road, hopefully. with the kid who's not a kid. I thought he was a man, but now that I think about it, was he just 12? I don't know. Okay, so the whole time I'm thinking, all right, they're gonna end up getting caught by these guys and joining them, and then they just blow up. That was, oh my goodness, that was hilarious. I wasn't expecting. Yeah, it was looking like they were getting away. I was like, what's gonna happen? I don't know how they're gonna, and then. So yeah, they did, and then they still ended up having to join them, so they were walking for all eternity. Yeah, sucks to suck. At this point in the show, I'm enjoying it, but I'm kind of waiting for it to say what it has to say in order to fully know if I find the weird scenes are just weird or if they're weird because they need to go someplace different. The teacher's ex-girlfriend of the blonde guy, he wasn't exactly how I thought. More of just a doesn't take care of himself smoker, gambler, instead of the angelic personality. Yeah, I do think there's a bit of her also not being creepy, but just not making the adult decision. I mean, the fans of idols, I guess, that relationship is always going to be probably a little bit meh, and so maybe that's kind of the point of the show. I don't know, but she's got feelings for him that she is trying to ignore, and I think that's a little problematic. Just because I imagine, I can imagine it'd be confusing being Tamon and getting some of the what feels like mixed signals that he's getting, and he definitely has not been as creepy as he was since she confronted him, I guess, about it. I sort of, I don't really fully know what she said to him other than Church of Tamon stuff. So, a scene maybe where, I don't know exactly what I'm wanting from it either. Yeah, I don't know. The teacher and the blonde guy, I'm guessing he's just older than he looks. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. It's fun. It's energetic. It's a little bit I feel like kind of just devolving into like the two people who like each other and are just unable to really do what they need to do about it. I mean, it's kind of been that. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. All right. We got Legoshi finding the hideout or the place of work for Melon, and the deer guy is hanging out with his fiance, but then also they're gonna purge the black market, so he's going there to warn the lions about it. And then there's, I guess, other events going on. A llama getting eaten by a bear, and that's the poop drug, right? From that one creature that just makes all the, like, that's what's going on with that. I can't remember if Melon's involved with that. I'm just gonna assume that he is. Alright, Melon is heading to the black market and taking back over Shishigumi with the lions. He does cut off one of their hands, and they don't seem too upset about it. One of them does. One of them seems like he'll maybe turn on them. On Melon. Talk to the grandfather, learn a bit about his backstory. That was kind of sad, with the wife committing suicide through his kiss. And then I guess I've been thinking about the choice that he gave Legoshi maybe a few episodes ago, or an episode ago, I can't remember, where it was like, would you prefer to live in a world where there's devouring and no surveillance, or a world where there's mass surveillance? And then he like went into his whole explanation and blah blah blah, and it was like thought-provoking. I don't know what I fully think about it yet, but maybe I'll get some clear thoughts as it goes along. I think this was, well, I think this probably has the most mature moment of the series in it so far. The investigation was a little goofy. I don't know how else to put it, but it was fine. Got to get a free bath, open air bath. Yeah, it was, I didn't expect it to, I thought he was being annoying by like not communicating, but I get why. Wouldn't want to necessarily bring up past relationships, and I hope the next time I can be with somebody, it's a little like that moment. I am way more flawed than he is, so maybe it won't. Well, we get the jump with the harness. I realized it was funny that he's kind of a fisherman. And then, like, she gets it without the harness pretty quickly. But then they keep trying to practice it with the harness. He messes it up because, he just doesn't know how to do it and trips. Now, Inori's kind of in her feelings and can't land it again. So we're going to head off to see the jump master again. And, on just a little car ride. I really be like, sometimes I just be forgetting that, like, this guy is, like, not her dad. But yeah, solid coach. Okay. We get the backstory of why the dad gave up Scarlet to be executed. It was to prevent, I guess we kind of knew it was to prevent war, but I guess we just see more into who he was and how it all went down. It's interesting, I guess, to have, a character that does really put all, like, in contrast, this is going to be a sentence to be hero, little short break. In that episode, they talk about humans kind of choosing things they want as opposed to the greater good for their, like, race. And this is a guy who doesn't do that, I think. Maybe what he wants is what's best for his kingdom. But yeah, it just feels cold, and I don't feel like we've had somebody who kind of does things for the greater good, but with, like, good passion. Like Bernie Sanders. All right, this will be my one rant. Bernie Sanders, I feel like every time I see news about him, it was just like, that seemed like he was doing the right thing. And I remember that was a turning point for me, just with our electoral system, seeing him get close and then not making it. But that's life. Okay, it might have been a bit of lack of sleep, but I had to keep rewinding on this just because it felt very packed in terms of, like, it was a lot of subtle plot progression going on with each scene, and it just kind of kept going. So I was doing my best to keep up, and I think I got most of it. And yeah, I still don't really know if this is gonna be a happy ending, a sad ending, or an ambiguous ending. Her being worried about standing out and not doing the audition, and then seeing this other girl stand out in the classroom just completely over her frustration with being wronged for the medical school and her being a woman. That gives me hope that, like, we're gonna kind of start heading more in a positive way, because it does kind of feel like as much as she's getting out, she is also sinking into her own loneliness even more, in a sense. And, like, the thing with the friend was interesting in terms of them, you know, just having the question of, like, I can't not be her friend now, you know? Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that would be... The way she found out was... with her text was rough. But I can also... I like... The main girl, I think she's very flawed. But there's some of it I think that is on her. But there's a lot of it that is her upbringing and the situation. And so I don't get annoyed at her like I would a lot of anime characters who are flawed. And kind of annoying. She is kind of annoying. But it's... Yeah, her character comes off as a real teenager. And yeah, I don't know exactly where this is going. This will probably be the lowest it's been. It's still a good episode, but this is a stacked week. I was just felt a little disjointed, but that's also probably the feeling that it's kind of creating. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this too. So, Return of the Beastars. Yeah, I forgot it ended on a literal cliffhanger last time, or cliff dropper. Kind of a goofy moment after with the fish, but then the shark, I guess, he's got lungs on him. Remembers magic underwater words from the seal, so that saves him. Luckily, Legoshi kind of runs down what all happened, and the zebra is dead, pushed off the balcony. I'm guessing it was the gazelle leopard guy, but I thought there was a feather that had dropped. So maybe there's someone else involved. He's definitely involved. About to get the rabbit. And these animal worlds are always, I think, an interesting choice, but, like, I don't know if it always works for, like, commentary on, like, mixing together. Just because, like, yeah, everybody is always just, like, a regular animal, so clearly, like, they and all of their ancestors have only bred within their species. But then, like, there's, like, intermingling of species, it seems, that I guess it does work out, but, like, the only mixed character is evil. I mean, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell if I'm worried for any of them. I mean, definitely not our main three, but it feels like maybe, like, something could happen to Methode or this other guy. Most likely, I feel like the guy, kind of feel like he's gonna die doing something that he thinks a good person would do. This show it's starting to pop off, and I'm enjoying the episodes more. I realize, I don't know. I'll be curious what my full opinion is on this season by the end. They seem to be taking this, at least Frieren seems to be taking this all pretty chill. So, again, yeah, I'm not super concerned about things going wrong in this. And the demons definitely seem very full of themselves. But maybe deservedly so. None of the black market stuff has gone any of the way that I thought it would. I thought this was going to be a fight. It ended up devolving into a fight, but originally it was just going to be they were burning blood and decide the winner by the flame. It seems strange. Lewis is flying out. His dad's getting blackmailed by the mayor. And that there's, like, real unborn animals in the meat that they're claiming is meat-free. Legoshi fights a lizard, gets hit with a tail bomb, and I think Lewis just got electrocuted by his prosthetic leg. It was really quick. Yeah, this is only one more episode. So I can't imagine everything ends unless, like, Legoshi dies or, like, gets caught. I don't know. There's some final season part 3, which I don't think I've seen that before. Kind of teared up a little there at the end, just because of how sweet this couple is. They're adorable. I don't know what else to, I don't know. And yeah, the show just continues to be good. All the characters are interesting. That other guy had kind of an episode that felt a little redeeming. Not super, but like it was I guess, yeah, his perspective was a little more interesting in this episode. And then he's getting a little closer with that one girl. We get a museum date with our main couple. It was his birthday, the cute little wish at midnight, and yeah. Ended on some ramen, a little goodbye hug, and then a kiss. They're moving forward. It's sweet. I don't know what else to say. Reminds me of nice high school. Well, yeah, was it high school for me? Yeah, high school. Yeah, high school days. A bit of a late bloomer. Late high school. Well, the tiger and the alpaca, llama, they had a nice, sweet little story with the egg that birthed a chicken. Still didn't make it, but Tiger definitely learned something about himself that was possible. I don't get some of Haru's actions. Like, I get potentially, or like, if this is what it was, like, I get it, but it didn't necessarily seem it. Like, being scared and, like, promising to give him some of your flesh just to get out of the situation. But, like, the way that she and Lewis talk about it afterwards, it's more like, don't tell me what to do, I'll give him some of my flesh if I want to. And it's just like, what? What's going on? I don't get. Yeah, so there's that. And I guess he got fired, so that's why Legoshi can't find him still. But now also Lewis knows that she knows him, and yeah, I don't really know where this is all going, but it's entertaining. Yeah, when this show gets dark, it gets dark. I mean, it'll still start off with, like, them being cute and possessive of milk, or like our main character being possessive of a milk kit, and in a cute-ish way. But the fight was, it felt ominous. This guy's been kind of going crazy for a while, and he's definitely got something. Really wants to get Flum. I still feel like she has, like, a certain significance that I don't fully understand. I guess she was selected as something in the beginning, but I feel like that's not exactly what I'm talking about, just, like, in terms of her name gets referenced every now and then in a seemingly whatever way. I get that he's annoyed that she, I guess, made him look bad. But the eyeballs turning people into monstrous lumps of arms and faces, that was strange. I don't really get what's going on. Like, they're just appearing out of nowhere and going up. Like, I guess the church is doing that somehow. But sad. Priest girl lost her 2 brothers. They go out protecting her. She was just talking about how they were annoying because, like, one overprotects one, whatever. And they both get turned. But then also, it ends feeling like it's saying that she fell into the eyeballs and got turned. I kind of doubt it. I feel like she's going to get saved somehow. Is Flump? No. They're all waiting for her, aren't they? I don't think there's really anybody that could save her. A demon, maybe? Because we did also see the woman who said that her town is burned down by demons and stuff. We see a little bit of her flashback, and it does seem like she really experienced something. Maybe it was the church with powers of perceiving to be demons, or like pretending to be demons. I don't know. I thought she might be in on all the church stuff, so that's, I guess, cool to know she's not. Yeah, things are popping off this week. Well, this episode has a lot of different kinds of scenes. Got, like, a scary one with the melon, kind of a sweet with Haru and them, and then it gets into I don't know how to. It's animals that are hot. And I don't, like, they're made to be hot. This is a weird way to put it. I don't know. Like, it's, like, And when I mean made, like, I just mean, like, drawn, CGI modeled. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's an interesting moment that, like the rest of the show needs animals, because, like, there's interesting things going on with, like, them being certain animals and blah, blah, blah. And this is interesting, too, in that it still does bring that into this moment. But, yeah, I feel like I'm exposing myself here. It looks like Kaya is a specter inhabiting a body, which is, but, like, I guess, yeah, he said the women inherit it, but did he say, I thought he said the first daughter, maybe he didn't say first daughter, maybe it was just the women. But anyways, I'll be curious if this baby is also a specter. But we get his backstory. He was kind of like also like Kaya, but got treated way worse. Had to go to the hospital and get drugged and all that, but saves Mob. That's how they become master and student relationship, except Mob is the student in terms of big psychic ability, just because he can flick them. Like, that's how he's like Kaya, but he's not like Kaya because he's not a specter, I guess, but he can pull out the so that was interesting. Still upset about last week, if no retaliation for that one guy. Also, they really dropped the ball on losing her. Anyways, okay, so Yuri decides to take the key again, have a little party before they do it and go off. We get a cool little montage using the opening theme song of running through it all again without Setsu in order to get back to where he kind of was with the maiden woman. And then he hijacks into some Kishobuni and then gets to go in between the worlds again and goes back and now is in the world with Setsu. So I guess it just, I mean, is he gonna just repeat what we just is it over? Maybe I should look it up, but it's kind of fun just being like, was that it? And then, like, either something will or won't show up next week, I guess. Yeah, it was good. Damn. Okay. So everybody's doing better than I thought they would be doing. We did get the brothers flip, so it was 4-on-2 in that fight. But they got it. They got the dub. Still kind of feel bad for those two in particular. The rest of them, whatever. I mean, this short yellow-haired woman, although current woman. She seems somewhat chill, kind of just given the plan, but also just probably in such confidence that they won't lose. And then bros cut this guy 215 times, I think, trying to get to 1,000. Looks like it will be a struggle, but they're both not doing so hot. And yeah. Oh, the plan is to go to the mainland and release a bunch of bugs, turn everybody into Tan, and then there'll be a big flower. So it's going down. It's going down. Well, we got a lot going on. There's Fushi, I think he's given up a lot of personalities from the red dust. I don't know what to call it. But there was a lot that happened. I'm like, I wanted to talk about the end, but now I should just talk about what I want to talk about. It's going to be hard to rank this week. I know I've said that, but there's a lot of good stuff going on. Fushi gets out, sort of, and then they're sort of helping a little bit, but they're trying to get everybody out of there. Tonari keeps going hard against the walking Fushi demon. I kind of forgot that the knockers have different personalities, like within what is kind of a hive mind. So yeah, I guess that's why this is kind of more localized. Dark Hood guy, who's now a kid, shows up. He stops time. Freezes it for the knockers, I think, because Tonari got, which sucked. But I sometimes, like, I say something sucks, but like I appreciate it as like a story beat, but I'm just like, Damn. Anyways, hopefully she gets saved, and all's well will end well. Fingers crossed. Good episode. Get a battle in the square, fight a troll fairy. Stop it though for the most part. Went over some guys, I think, to the king's side. Yeah, we're peering into what's going on with the blight more and more. And yeah, they are running things. They got humans that I guess are coexisters who want to be slave masters in a sense. The rest of humanity would be slaves. I guess the blight is the lords. Yeah, so that guy was not the demon king. They're demon kings, right? The little girl who was pretending to be the sister of this guy. Guess she had killed her and was using the body and took out the rest of his siblings. Poor kids. Yeah, it does kind of feel like if you got threatened by a shady organization at any point, that your family might be dead if you don't do something they want. Kind of feels like they're already goners, which, I can't imagine getting stuck in that situation. But, solid episode. No. No, I think I was wrong in my in-credit theory. Because I wasn't sure if, like, her eating people was, like, her just, like, kind of, in a sense, absorbing them and they still exist and could be saved in some way. But that looks pretty final. There's, like, blood spurting. So, yeah. Dang it. She was putting up a fight. It was a goated fight. And, it was really good, I thought. A good use of cloning abilities. And it kind of seems like she can fly, but I don't think she can. She saved our boy. Saved everybody who was getting attacked by those, whatever they are. And gets used all her strength and gets munched. That's too bad. Because her ability with, I don't know if he would have been able to clone, but, yeah. You got me, show. Damn. There's definitely some consequences going on. We've got I guess Jack is kind of out in a sense a little bit. Not really. The guy who got punched last week, he wasn't fully out. He's coming back with the poison dagger hand. Heracles is the first to kind of get sentenced to death, but he hasn't died. I feel like he will. In a sense, the first person who's really taken out, it seems, maybe not, but Gilgamesh gets hit by that super laser. Mage is freaking out. That was kind of hard to... that was like the only reason I felt bad about. I was just like, I'm fine with him getting taken out, but she just seems so sad. And I was worried, though, that if he dies, she dies, and I don't think that's how it goes. So things are coming to a head. The thing is, like, the whale is the kid's thing, right? Or is that something else? Because then there's the horse lady that's got to come in at some point. And I mean, the kid in the hospital is the kid that falls, and then the girl version of him that also has, I want to say, like a green thing. So I feel like horse lady's coming up though. Just because she like came in for like 1 second in the battle and then dipped. Yeah, I no idea what's going on. I think this was probably the sweetest episode. We finally get the meeting between the two, pink-haired girl and our princess. We get a little baited. They're like, they show the meeting right in the beginning while they're still processing it. And then we get some funny bits. I'm not going to complain. I was at first, I was like, but then I immediately was laughing. So, yeah, the lightning bit was funny. The callback for it was funny. It was something else in the middle. Oh, torture. Getting split into two personalities and evil torture still just being very chill. And then, in their meeting, I was maybe, like, I didn't tear up, but, like, I could feel them welling. and then the last bit where they're all just hanging out was really sweet. Touching final note of them feeling really comfortable around each other after what they've been through. Sad saxophone always gets me. Yeah. I mean, it did seem like things were going too well. I was like, blonde-haired guy put up a little bit of a fight, but not much. And Charlie, yeah, had an interesting moment where they're like, I don't feel any responsibility to this world. I just got tossed into it. And I mean, that's true for all of us in a sense. But yeah. He's I guess they're trying to show him having a little bit more of a animalistic side this episode. But yeah. So goes in, saves Lucy. Again, when the blonde guy comes back with 2 broken arms, but still somehow threatens to crush her windpipe. But then the police show up, and I really feel like that one sheriff almost just took out Lucy, because those holes seem like... But then, yeah, so we learn a little bit more about the ALA. They're kind of upstart. They're really, getting people that they want, but really just to the benefit of other people who are also doing the things that they're trying to stop. Charlie's biological father was the one that had ordered them to raid, requested them to raid the lab with Charlie and save Charlie in a sense. But yeah, after the police show up, Lucy starts to kind of put some of his words together and realizes that Charlie's parents are in danger. And he gets there, there's a fire, gets them out, but they were dead before the fire got them. So he's looking hurt. And then, of course, these dumb idiots immediately try to arrest him. Probably breaks one of their jaws. And escapes, but I think he's so emotionally hurt, but also innocent, animalistic, that he can't even get help from Lucy right now. This is interesting. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, it sucks that his parents got killed. Did not see that coming. And yeah, this the villain, I appreciate a good villain, but I also really get annoyed by them. So this guy is devious, and he's just escaped immediately. I didn't expect a new blue-haired girl to get taken out. That was a rough ending. It was rough because immediately before it cuts to them in the woods, I was like, oh shit, he might be the father. Miki, this blonde guy. And then she was dead. She's gonna be the actress for the movie that Aqua wants to make about Ai getting murdered. And I'm guessing this will kind of be part of his revenge plan that he said everything's kind of fallen into place for. Ruby, she lost the light, but I guess I don't really know what the light means in their eye, because Ai loses the light in her eye during the documentary when she says she'll be her true self. So maybe it's a good thing to not have it, but it doesn't seem good for Aqua. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, lot is going on. I'm curious about the process of this movie. That seems like something I've potentially thought about when I got into film. But yeah, interesting stuff. Man, I hit the nail on the head when I said Arthur was the GOAT for the season. Man just cut Earth in half, and apparently that was a good thing. I was like, what? I thought that was... And then everybody's like, oh... I mean, to be fair, it is hard to follow now a little bit exactly what's going on, because, it's not in the sense that it kind of just feels like whatever rules they can fully believe in exist for the world, at least for them. He gets the ring to be able to breathe on the moon. And yeah, the dragon backstory just felt a little bit like, oh my gosh. I feel like I had to rewatch it a couple times because I was just like, what is being said here? But yeah, it's gone very... I did not expect I did not expect a moon fight, but that was good. Okay, I don't normally do this, but I just realized I forgot my boy. He's gone, I think. Oh my goodness. They found the gold. I mean, half of it. The other half was used to buy land for the Ainu, which is in a deed, which it might seem that that's why the government was keeping an eye on Suramichi and trying to use them to potentially destroy that contract. But they're all coming to a head. Suramichi brought naval destroyers that apparently only 16 people can be on. It seems like a low number. But yeah, they're using the cannons, but then the one guy goes out to fake negotiating a surrender, but really he just gets them to stop bombing because they don't want to destroy the deed. And then they're like, so they find the deed under the house and they're looking for the gold, and I guess somehow the wind blows in one of the skins onto a certain spot, and they realize about the horse well. Check it out. Bro can't even resist seeing the gold for 1 second, so he jumps in, causes a little tear, and we get a gold shower. Oh no, I didn't think. But yeah, it's raining gold, and it felt like it would never really be there, but it's such a nice moment. Damn. I mean, yeah. A lot of just enamored by the visual animation going on. Cool lighting. I don't know, it's just like it seems very stylistic, but I don't know if it's even real world lighting. He's got like a spotlight following him in the middle of the fight, but I love it. It's all super engaging, and then I mean, they're both badass, and he took sends them through the trial for the pachinko machine parlor, gets him kind of in it, and confiscates his cursed energy, and yeah, he's holding up. And but then he realizes he can get a retrial, and then the case is that he committed mass murder in Shibuya, and he immediately pleads guilty. And that kind of messes with our judge guy's like internal thing. I think he's just, the power then got to him, because he says a really interesting line, because I remember last episode he was like, oh, like I'm doing all these things and like this is more fun. And I thought he'd maybe mentioned killing somebody, but maybe he didn't, because this time he's like, he asks Yuji if he's ever killed somebody, and he says yes, and he's like, it was awful when he did it, the judge guy. It was interesting. And then now, we got the points, managed to let players transfer them. I'm getting it. They still do a lot of exposition. But it is very fast paced, and it is kind of cool to have these like really compact, high effort episodes. Yeah, this is super peak, super high on the ranking, but it's kind of crazy because I know that at best this is gonna be second. It started. Wow, that was a lot of feelings. It started with the breathing scene. I was thinking about all the work that's been put into the show in like a weird way, and then I just kind of like the story of her, and then just the breathing. Like I managed to like really think about everything that I've been talking about that's not anime. And it was just really a sad beautiful moment, but mostly just sad. It's displayed as a beautiful moment, but like this show does that, where it gives you calm, just kind of normal moments, like them tickling each other, for interrogation. And then the immediate dread, like literally it went down to my legs, realizing that the woman that we just got introduced to is on the Bunny's team, and she took out one of the newbies with the guns and now has all of their weapons. A homicidal maniac. And so this was a lot And yeah, it's a good. Hello, however you found yourself here. Well, there's ranks on screen at the moment, timestamps to all of the different reviews. I haven't even really looked at the points yet, but here they are. It's yeah.